Well, we've got irresistible force and we've got immovable object here today. We've got one of the top defenses in 4A against one of the top offenses in 4A. But wait, we've also got another top offense against another top defense. What gives in this game, Logan versus Olympus?
It's going to be a great game with all the intrigue all week long. I think Olympus has shown in their region that they're one of the best teams to play. So we'll see what happens.
Well, they've kind of flown under the radar. How do you do that at 10-1?
That's a good question. I think they're gonna hit the top of the screen today. We'll see who comes out on top.
They run the ball a lot, and the Logan defense does pretty well against the run, but that wing tee is tough to defend.
Yeah, it is, and it's because you don't do it very often. And so you have one time a year, and Logan luckily has Box Elder in the region, and they do the same thing. So hopefully that will play to their advantage today.
That was a little bit of a preview of what kind of offense they'll be facing today. It's Olympus against the Grizzlies for a chance to go to the turf next week in the semifinals on the Valley Channel.
Introducing the new ProForm TDF Centennial. The only training bike that inclines and declines, rides anywhere in the world, and measures your energy output. With Google Street View and a 7-inch touchscreen, draw your map and ride every tour stage or anywhere in the world. The TDF responds to terrain changes with a full 20% incline, 20% decline. An integrated advanced power meter measures your exact watts. And silent magnetic resistance means the training bike making all the noise in the cycling world sounds like this. You can't train like this on any other bike. Call or go online today to get the ProForm TDF Centennial with 0 down plus free upgrade to rush shipping.
The road to Rice Eccles leads through Logan as the Grizzlies host the Titans of Olympus, and it's brought to you by Icon Health and Fitness, changing lives with fitness innovation. Cache Valley Hospital, your choice in healthcare. Salt Lake Express, door-to-door service to and from the Salt Lake Airport every hour. Lewiston State Bank, strong and vibrant for over a century. Immaculate Homes, now your home. Wendy's of Cache Valley. It's way better than fast food. It's Wendy's. Discount Tire and Automotive, so much more than a tire store. Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology, bring back what you've been missing. Four Seasons Premier Apartment Homes, live, work, play, and celebrate. PR Graphics for all your promotional graphics needs. Alpine Cleaning and Restoration Specialist, we respond, we restore, you relax. The Logo Shop, we logo stuff, all kinds of stuff. And the Valley Channel, Cache Valley's television station. Well, hello again, everyone, and welcome to the Game of the Week on the Valley Channel, a playoff edition as the Logan Grizzlies host the Olympus Titans. I'm Eric Olson along with John Worley, and this game has all sorts of intrigue surrounding it, just even ignoring everything that's gone on with the quarterback situation at Logan High. You've got a team in Olympus that I mentioned it in the opener. I talked to the coach about it earlier, about they've just been flying under the radar. But there they are at 10-1, and the only loss is a 1-point loss to Corner Canyon, who's still alive in the playoffs.
Right. That's what makes playoff football fun. You're playing people you don't know, you haven't seen them a lot. In this case, Olympus runs an offense that's a little different than what you're used to. It's going to be fun.
Let's talk about that wing tee offense a little bit.
Well, first of all, remember it's an afternoon game, so we'll be able to see better today.
Oh, that's true.
You know how I like that. The wing tee is it should be a simple offense, but just like every other offense over the years, it's evolved into something that's a little more complicated. And they run some options off it, they have some reads off it, and it just you play it differently. And you have to be disciplined, you have to stay home on defense, and that's where I'm out there. That's where Logan's going to have to be disciplined and play well tonight in order to pull that off.
The closest approximation that they've probably seen this year is Box Elder.
Well, yeah, and I think that's going to be an advantage for them because here again, even in their region, Olympus is used to playing people who haven't seen that offense before, maybe once a year. Logan's practice now; they've had at least 2 weeks of practice for this, and they'll have a much better opportunity to be successful.
Olympus beat Springville 43-37 in the first round last week. It was a literal last-second touchdown on a trick play that pulled the game out for the Titans.
Yeah, it was something else. With a double hook and ladder, one of those you're lucky to pull off, let alone two. Equivalent of a walk-off home run. That's kind of fun.
On the Logan Grizzlies side of the field, everybody's talked about their quarterback or lack thereof this week. Chase Nelson, involved in that controversy last week, kicked out of a game for allegedly kicking another player, and regardless of what you think about whether he kicked or did not kick, he's out. He's not playing this week. His replacement, they've practiced a couple different quarterbacks, but it's probably going to be Kincaid Wildman. But my question, John, is we're dealing with 16, 17, 18-year-old kids here. And there's been a lot of talk about, we'll come out and win one for our quarterback, and he's been wronged and this and that. Teams can come out and be too pumped up and too aggressive. I mean, how does that work out for these guys today?
I think that's the biggest challenge today, and something that'll be fun to watch. Kincaid Wildman last week came in, spur of the moment, jumped in, the adrenaline's running. You don't really think about what you're doing. You just come in and you play. He's now had a week to think about it. He's had a week to prepare. That becomes an advantage. But he's also had a week to lay in bed at night thinking about, I'm going to play and I'm going to start. And that, your perspective and your approach to the game completely changes. So I think depending upon or regardless of what level, whether it be the pro level, the college level, the high school level, being the starting quarterback and having a week to prepare and a week to think about it changes the dynamic. So it will be interesting to see how Kincaid reacts today.
I think the playbook was severely limited last week with having to put a quarterback in, a backup in late like that. I think the playbook will be a little more wide open this week. And that for Olympus, how do you prepare for an unknown on the other side? Because Kincaid Wildman is not Chase Nelson. He can do different things.
Well, you don't, and that gives Logan an advantage in that sense. As difficult as it is for Logan to prepare for the single wing, Olympus doesn't quite know what they're going to get today. So it will be interesting to watch.
We're going to step aside, take a break, and then come back with the kickoff. Logan and Olympus. The winner advances on to the turf at Rice-Eccles Stadium next week against the winner of that East Corner Canyon game.
I'm a totally different man.
You could do one thing only, incline training is it.
It eliminated that fat. Just get up and walk.
You want to change your life, then you need to step up to the X9 from Nordic Track. What makes the X9 the best calorie burning machine on the planet? Incline. Going up, now you're burning twice the calories. You want more? Take it all the way to 40% incline for 5 times the calorie burn.
The X9 is one of the fastest ways ever to burn calories.
And all you have to do is walk.
Plus, the X9 comes with iFit, powered by Google Maps, so you can work out anywhere.
Burn fat jogging on the beaches of Fiji. Shed pounds hiking the Swiss Alps.
With iFit, the X9 automatically adjusts, so your workout follows the terrain.
You can most definitely shed calories and burn fat.
You can just walk the calories off.
Get this amazing machine for $0 down and free shipping, $150 value.
To order, call 1-800-383-4153 or go online today.
Well, we're about a minute away from kickoff here at Crimson Field at Logan High School. Coach Mike Favero right there. 4 titles since 2000. In 2000, 2005, 2007, and 2011, he has been amazingly successful here at Logan High.
I think that's the hidden advantage for Logan right now, and maybe not hidden. Mike Favero is a great coach. I've watched him over the years make changes in his offense and his defense based on kids that get hurt or can't play. Today's going to be the opportunity for him to do it again.
I think in this valley we've got some pretty good coaching staffs
agreed.
that really get their kids ready to play and get the most out of their kids. And I think people here are lucky with the quality of athletics in the local high schools.
Well, as evidenced by the success this year, and I know Mountain Crest has been down, but Mountain Crest has had a long run, and they had some young kids this year. They're going to be right back up there. And you've seen Skyview emerge this year, and Logan's just stayed pretty consistent.
The Logan offense will get first crack at it. They're 4th in 4A in scoring at 40 points a game. The Olympus defense is 4th in 4A at 16.5 points per game. And Olympus, one of those teams that kind of plays a little bit of games on the kickoff.
I don't know. I've never seen that. That's interesting.
And they kick it away, and it's Artis, the speed merchant, getting ready to ply his wares. Artis spins out of one attempted tackle, and he stops shy of the 20-yard line, and that's where Logan will take over. Kincaid Wildman, number 6.
I didn't see. Did Logan win the toss, or did someone defer? Do you know?
I thought they won the toss and decided to take it.
I think that's a great choice if that's the case. I don't think there's any reason to make Wildman think about it any longer.
So Wildman with McIntyre. And 4 wide receivers. And Wildman looking back across for the screen. It's picked off. He threw it right into the hands of the waiting defensive end, Jeff Falatoy, and it's a defensive touchdown.
That is that's an absolute disaster right now, I think. You know, you've seen that happen a couple of times. You saw it happen in the Utah State game last week.
And that's not the way you want to start it after a whole week of thinking about it.
No, it's not. And again, that's what you worry about, you know, as that starting quarterback position. So
the PAT is good, and Olympus with the early turnover, the interception for a touchdown, and it's 7-0 Titans. Well, they tried a screen, did the Grizzlies, on the first play of the game. Something safe for their quarterback getting his first start. And it ends up getting picked off by Jeff Falatoy, 6'5", the defensive end. And he got up there to pull that one down, and he scored easily. And Olympus on top early. We only played 16 seconds. And the Logan Grizzlies are in a 6-point hole.
Well, it's an understatement to say that that's not what they wanted to have happen. But you know, we watched these kids last week, Eric, just come back from a real difficult situation emotionally, and I think that they'll be able to do it again here.
That's the whole balancing act of high school football, isn't it? It's these kids and emotions play such a huge part.
Don't let them tell you it's not the same at any level, but high school is difficult.
Wildman's going to go to Compton. Compton has blocking downfield, and he's out of bounds after about a 4-yard gain.
3-yard line, gain of 3, second down and 7.
For Logan, that's just like a simple run up the middle. They just a safe little throw out to Compton.
And they're not slowing that offense down any.
No.
As they hurry to the line. Wildman against a 4-man rush. There's another pick. Lowry brings him down, but there's what you get with a quarterback making his first start. He goes over there and just puts it right to his first read, and Olympus is waiting on it. So now the Grizzly defense with their backs against the wall. Take another look. That's double coverage there.
Yeah, he threw right into that.
It looks like the corner had come off that outside route and sat. And Olympus is going to the air over the middle. The receiver falls down. And it's incomplete.
Well,
it looked like the corner on that interception came off of his man and then came over and made that play because you had the backer and the corner underneath.
Well, and I'll have to go back and look at the replay, but it looks like they were sort of sitting back waiting for that.
They give to Meyer on that little end around we saw against Box Elder, it took the Logan defense a couple of drives before they finally figured that formation and that offense out, but then they eventually figured out Box Elder and put them away.
Well, Logan's defense has got to get some momentum back right here, and they have an opportunity to do this if they can hold them out, hold them to a field goal.
3rd and 5. Manning, the quarterback, 1,100 yards passing, pitches it out to Meyer. Meyer looking for the edge. He gets there, and I think he's got the first down.
Still think he got the first down with the extra effort.
He'll be short.
Let's see. They're going to spot him back by the 10, so he's going to be a little bit short.
So what does Olympus do? This is their first chance here, and I think they'll go for it.
4th and 1.
Yeah. I think they'll go for it.
Well, you're a team that has a almost 1,200-yard rusher in Meyer.
Yeah.
Siegel's gone for 700, and Draper's gone for 522. Yeah. If you can't get half a yard, you don't belong here. 4th and inches. Manning keeps it. He takes a wallop, but he looked like he had enough. All he had to do was lurch forward, and that's what he did.
They're at the 7-yard line. 1st and goal from the 7.
Well, Olympus quickly to the line. 1st and goal.
Oh, that's motion.
Lead
yeah.
7-0, and this one's going nowhere, and there was a flag before the play.
Yeah, that's going to be a dead ball. There was a little confusion there. It looked like 2 of their men moved at the same time.
So the first bit of laundry on the field looks like it's going to go against the Titans. Illegal shift.
Against the Grizzlies. Against the Titans, excuse me.
So
5-yard penalty, repeat.
They're going to back them up 5 yards, and Olympus get first down again. Manning in the gun. He's going to throw. Underneath he goes to Meyer. Meyer belted out of bounds by Wildman inside the 5. At about the 4-yard line, 8-yard gain, 2nd and goal.
If Olympus can continue to get 4 or 5 yards on a pass play like that, that's going to be really tough for the Logan defense. This is where the single wing, the rushing offense becomes a little more difficult. There's not as much room to operate. They can't surprise you as much here.
Meyer turns it up. He's at the goal line. Touchdown. The official on the far side calls it. The near side one, no signal, and the far side official had a good look and called it a touchdown.
Well, Olympus didn't do anything super fancy there. They just they ran. A nice cutback. If you see this, there was everybody maybe a little too much over pursuit. The defense was a little over aggressive, and he left himself a little bit of room on the backside.
And Olympus moved, so they'll have to kick it again. But Olympus is up 2 scores, and we haven't even played 3 minutes. They intercepted the first 2 passes, 2 of the first 3 passes of the ball game by Kincaid Wildman. Took one in for a touchdown, and the other set them up in good field position. So now the PAT is going to be just a little bit longer, and that one, somebody may have got a piece of that, and it doesn't make it there. So it's 13-0, Olympus with the early lead on Logan.
Clark Salt Lake Express and the airport shuttle have merged and become one.
So we still have doorstep service, and it's about the same price as it was before. Our focus now is to try to provide as many opportunities for people who need to have the ability to get to and from Salt Lake when they want. They don't want to wait at the airport for 2 hours. They also don't want to be driving around the valley when they get here.
And you bring us to a location that leaves on time.
We'll have another vehicle take you here to save time comfortably, and that main vehicle goes 12 times a day on schedule, both leaving the valley and coming back.
Now take another look here at that scoring play.
That kick into the end zone for a touchback.
The kick goes into the end zone.
First 10 Grizzlies from their own 20-yard line.
And the Grizzlies will start again at their own 20, this time down 13-0.
Well, now you really have to wonder what's going through Wildman's head. You know, that's 3 balls, 2 pretty poor passes. I mean, poor. The first one's unlucky. The second one was a poor read, and they've got to give him a little bit of time now.
Well, they're trying to be safe, go underneath, but it looks like Olympus is thinking they're just going to sit on all of
Well,
us.
look at them. They're putting. Yeah, and I think this is what Logan's going to have to do. Olympus is backing off. They're playing a 2 deep. They've got about, so they don't have, you hear about putting 8 men in a box to stop the run. Basically, Olympus is doing just the opposite. They're putting 4 men up, leaving 7 men back, and basically daring Logan to run on them.
8-yard gain. Wildman does a good job to get the snap, and he's got the first down. He picks up 3.
I think that's what Logan's got to do this time, is really establish a run game. They've got to get them to come up to the line of scrimmage.
Four wide receivers again for the Grizzlies, and McIntyre in the backfield.
They're backing way off.
Wildman's going to throw. Now he tucks it. Big trouble, and they keep him bottled up and take him down for a 2-yard gain loss.
Make it 2nd down and 11.
And again, that's kind of one of those, if you've got a quarterback with some experience, he makes that decision a little quicker, and Wildman's still looking.
Well, and I think I think we know what we know right now what Olympus's defensive game plan is that they're going to obviously make Wildman win with his arm, and that's not a surprise.
No deep safeties at all. And the blitz, he gets it out to McIntyre.
McIntyre makes the catch, gets back to the
picks up 3, and it's going to be 3rd and 9.
2-yard line. It'll be 3rd down.
Here's the thing I'm seeing about Olympus. They're showing pretty good speed defensively.
Yeah, they are. And they're big. They look like they're good size.
That's a good catch by McIntyre.
And they're going to back off now.
3rd down and 9 for Logan.
Yep. Rush 3. 3-man rush. Good throw.
They go underneath.
Good. Now there you go. That's a good read by Wildman and a great route run by Compton. I don't know if that's a read run or a read route, but Compton turned it off. They gave him a cushion of 4 or 5 yards, and he just turned it up, got the first down.
14 yards on 3rd and 9. Artist.
Still, again, they're going to rush 3 people here.
Artist to the top of the screen, and now they've run a safety deep.
Yep. 3-man rush.
They go downfield into that slot again. If they're going to run a zone, they're going to carve that up.
Well, and they're giving him that much time, giving him that much yardage. Now the trick is, can they see it in time? Can Wildman see when they change that defense enough to know that he's got somebody that can go deep or run across the middle?
16 yards. And Compton's got 3 catches for 34 yards now, and here comes Wildman. Gets the edge, gets a pretty good block by Compton, and he picks up 7 yards.
Okay, this is, they continue to get, this is a good series for Logan. I like what they've done again, if they keep seeing that defense.
So 2nd and 3. McIntyre again in the backfield. Press coverage on Compton. They're just going to run that quarterback dive, and there was nothing there. They blew up the front.
Yeah, they did.
They got the penetration for sure.
It's still early, but I'd like to see maybe now Logan. His linebackers are all dropping back pretty aggressively, but on the runs they're coming up to stuff holes. Maybe some play action pass and throw underneath. Rush 3 and man press on this outside corner. Yep. Here they come.
Wildman in trouble. And again, he's looking downfield. He doesn't recognize the blitz until it's too late. And he loses yardage back to the 39-yard line. That's a 7-yard loss, and it's 4th and 12.
4th down and
and that was, I think, maybe the first time we saw Olympus come with a hard blitz, and boy, they got to him quickly.
Well, they had their 3-down linemen and brought 2 backers.
Yeah.
Tanner Lowry, punting formation for the Grizzlies.
So it was 5-on-5, but they won the battle. Lowry, high kick.
Nope.
And it gets into the end zone. And Olympus, for a change, will start not in Logan territory.
At the 20-yard line.
So Logan with kind of a nightmarish start. They turned the ball over in their first 2 possessions, 1 return for a touchdown, 1 deep in their own territory. Olympus scores on both. There's still 5:47 to play in the first quarter, and it's 13-0 Olympus.
Well, and that's got to work to Logan's advantage. They just had a pretty good offensive series. It didn't amount to anything, but now their defense has got to step up too. If they can hold field position here, give Logan half the field.
Meyer makes guys miss in the backfield, and then he's wrapped up and driven back.
3 on the play.
Boy, they gave him a great spot.
They did, and Olympus seems to be getting a lot of their yards coming back against the defense. I think the Grizzlies are over pursuing just a little bit. They're a little aggressive.
They had him wrapped up in the backfield. They say he got clear up to the 23. We can go ahead and say that. And then he got driven back, and so forward progress to the 23. And a good job by Meyer to get that.
Falls forward. Pretty good run.
Number 22, Ben Siegel.
And Siegel picks up 4.
So here's the first relatively 3rd and long that Logan's got to make a stop here.
3rd and a short 4.
Yeah.
Long 3, depending on how you look at it.
And I'm impressed with Olympus so far. They're big and physical.
They're athletic.
Yeah. Ball.
Manning's going to keep it. Now he's being pursued. He throws back across, has a man, and it's the guy that scored the touchdown earlier on the interception, Jeff Valatoy, and he's got a big gain. 23 yards, 22 yards on 3rd and 4.
Now, this young man, Manning, playing quarterback, he kept his eyes downfield. He didn't panic. He played that pretty well. Didn't try and throw back across the field. Kept it on the sideline. It was a nice throw. Nice throw and a nice catch. On what basically amounted to a broken play. Scrambled and made the most of that.
Sam Benyon couldn't quite get there in time. And Olympus with a new set of downs at the 49-yard line. Manning underneath.
Nice throw.
Has a receiver. And here's what we've seen early from the from the Olympus offense. They're not getting tackled on first contact.
No, exactly. And the other nice thing about that play, Eric, was that was a timing route. The quarterback took 3, stepped and threw before he even really looked. They played, I'm impressed with Olympus right now, and Logan's got to tackle better.
Yeah, the tackling hasn't been great for the Grizzlies. A lot of broken tackles. Now they overload the right side, and they give to the first man through, Siegel, and Siegel picks up a couple.
Ben Siegel on the carry. He picks up a couple of
That was better.
That's the kind of push, though, they're getting up front. Siegel looks like he's got nothing. And you look up and they've spotted him 2 yards downfield.
Well, Logan, I think we said this early last week too. Logan's getting beaten to the line of scrimmage. They're getting out physical right now by Olympus.
And they can't afford to let that go on much longer before they figure it out, if they can figure it out. And sometimes it's not figuring it out. Sometimes it's just going toe-to-toe and winning those battles. 2nd and 8. Manning's going to put the ball in the air. Flag down. Benyon.
Good throw.
Lays a lick on Manning. That's going to be good for a first down to Howler, but let's see what the flag is. And it's going to be against Olympus, so they're going to back him up. And it's motion penalty.
Against the Titans, that'll back him up 5 yards.
I'm impressed with Manning right now, Eric. He's doing a nice job back there at quarterback.
2nd down and 13.
He's made a couple of really nice throws and not easy throws. He's getting good protection, but when it breaks down, he's scrambling a little. He keeps his shoulder square to the field, and he's making a good read.
Just shy of 1,100 yards on the season passing and 15 touchdowns. Now they're in that double wing look. Manning's going to throw it again, and it's that timing pattern to Meyer. Meyer is single-handedly just carving the Grizzlies up.
I'll tell you, we talked a little bit about being prepared for this game by playing Box Elder. This is not like a Box Elder offense.
Nope.
This is much more pro-style, pass-oriented offense.
Meyer, 2 catches, 23 yards. And here's Olympus again in Logan territory at the 28 with 2:20 to play in the first period, already leading 13-0. Manning's going to throw it again. Benyon.
There you go.
He gets the sack. Manning kind of slipped down himself, but he had nobody to throw it to.
No, that was good defense on the backfield. Logan played that well. And Manning kind of went to the well one too many times. He waited, he waited, he waited. He needs to get rid of the ball right here, and he waited just a little bit too long.
An 11-yard loss for Manning. You could call that a coverage sack. Benyon has 6.5 on the season now, as he was the first one there. Manning with the rollout, looks back the other way.
Oh, Logan read it.
And
Logan
Manning
played that really, really well.
Pass incomplete.
That was a well-designed screenplay. Looked one way and then misdirection the other way, and Logan sniffed it out. You watch this. See the replay here. You watch this. All 3 of these Logan linemen come free. You won't see it, but they all stop about right here and say, "Oh, screen!" And now Manning's in trouble, and he knows it. And again, now this time smartly, he got rid of the ball.
He's a senior, and he.
Okay, this is a big play for Logan, honestly.
Showed a lot of smarts. 3rd down and 20. Huge play for the Logan defense. Logan looks like they might send backers. Nope, 3-man rush. Manning's got room to run. Not enough, though.
Oh,
he's past the line of scrimmage.
Yep.
Flag on the play.
And it wouldn't have been enough for the first down anyway.
Yep.
But that'd be a loss of down.
28-yard line.
It was caught out there.
I think that is a loss of down.
Reception.
That's going to be a costly penalty. They're going to lose field position as well as the down.
Yeah, he was past it by 3 yards.
Yeah, it wasn't even close. You got to like still, though. You got to like his presence of mind. It keeps his head up, and he's staying in the play the whole time.
Illegal forward pass across the line of scrimmage.
So Olympus with their 3rd penalty, and now they'll have to punt. Logan's offense will get another chance.
Well, okay, so
and
there you go.
Wildman had a little bit of success last time.
We needed a stop. We needed to see Logan's defense get a stop there, and they did. They bent a little bit, but we'll get the offense to get a chance to come back now and see if they can get something done.
JoJo Henderson back to kick. Oh, Logan's offsides.
Logan just seems like they're still just a little amped up. You just got to calm down and go play.
That's what I was talking about before, though. They've heard all this all week about their quarterback, and they're going to go win it for him. And they're probably all up in a lather, and sometimes you can get 2 up for a game.
Yeah.
JoJo Henderson to punt the ball for the Titans. Compton back deep.
Now it's 4th and about 15, 16.
Oh, he almost got there.
High kick, and this one's going to go into the end zone.
And that kick goes into
and Logan will start at their own 20-yard line. Trailing 13-0. Four Seasons Premier Apartment Homes, one of our sponsors. Their brand new smoke-free apartments made to impress. Easy access to office space, conference, banquet rooms, swimming pools, hot tubs, spas, and gyms. Make our community of apartments in North Logan the best place to live, work, play, and celebrate. That's Four Seasons Premier Apartment Homes. So the Logan offense moved the ball last time out, but they were unable to come away with any points. Let's see what they do now. They run that little screen.
That's good.
Pass complete on the far side.
Yeah.
Who was it? Compton? Nope,
No,
it was McIntyre.
McIntyre.
Olympus doing something a little interesting. You know, they're showing 4-man fronts. They're showing 3-man fronts. I think just to confuse Kincaid just a little bit. Back into a 4-man front this time.
They've got numbers to this side, does Logan. They decide to throw that screen finally. Kincaid looked that way and then went the other way. McIntyre hauled out of bounds at the 31. That's going to be a first down.
31, that's good for a...
Well, that's positive. 2 positive passes. Kincaid's able to get him a first down. And then
3-man front
back
again.
to 3-man front this time.
Yep,
gives them 4 backers. They're going to basically, yeah.
Safety's only playing about 8 yards off. Now he's backed
He'll
up.
back off now.
Here they come off the edge. They run the screen underneath. As Rector comes all the way across the field, fumbles it out of bounds. But he picks up 5 yards, and that's the end of the first quarter of play. 13-0. Olympus leads Logan after 1.
That's the end of the first quarter. The Olympus Titans 13. Logan Grizzlies 0. Hey fans, it's time.
Here at Lewiston State Bank, we offer lots of different loan products to meet your needs. We're happy to work with you and hope that you would enjoy working with us.
We had to take out an automobile loan, and so we came into Lewiston State Bank, and she was so good. She worked with me really, really well.
We are proud to have been serving our customers for over 100 years with personalized, friendly service. Please come in and meet your new friends at Lewiston State Bank.
All right, let's take a look at that last play here. Wildman stays in to the last minute, and then he finds Rector crossing all the way across. Watch right at the end. Rector loses that football and out of bounds.
It almost looked like Logan was in the perfect route. Yeah, we haven't had an incomplete pass yet. Is that correct?
The ball has not hit the ground yet for Logan. Wildman's 7 for 7, but he's thrown 2 interceptions.
Well, I like what I'm seeing, though. He's hanging in there. They look like they might have been in the perfect call. I was going to say that, you know, he took the rush well, but that was sort of the call was the screen pass. Bunched up a little bit here. Now they'll spread him out.
2nd and 5. They're going to pitch it out to McIntyre. McIntyre cuts it inside. You know, he had a down block, but instead he cut it inside. 2-yard gain is going to be 3rd and 3.
Well, it's interesting to see what it looks like. Olympus has changed up a little bit. They're using those 3- and 4-man fronts, but now they're bringing a backer. So you know, that again may be part of the plan.
I would assume this time they'll bring guys.
They're going to bring at least 1, if not 2, from the outside.
The DN looked like he might have been offsides, but no flag.
Got to hurry.
And now Logan calls timeout.
Yep. Logan calls a timeout.
I don't think that Coach Favero is going to be happy about that. I think they had what they wanted.
Logan was hoping for a flag. They thought maybe the DN, Falatoy, had jumped off sides, but they didn't get the call, and now they're going to talk about it a little. You know, in the first half, you might as well use those timeouts.
If you watched the game last week, we talked a lot about Logan taking full advantage of the play clock. I think you're going to see Coach Favero start to do that again, because if they can get the play out quickly, Olympus tends to be showing their defense and their blitz a little bit early, and if they can stand on the sideline between Coach Favero and Riley and watch that, I think you may be able to get some advantage. The question is whether their system is going to allow Wildman to make the kinds of changes he needs to.
3rd and 3 for the Grizzlies.
See, they're watching now.
Now they've got 4 up.
Here
comes a linebacker. Wildman can't get away. Again, pressure up the middle. When they've got him, it's somebody coming up the middle.
Well, and he felt the pressure quickly. If we see a replay here, you'll watch him. He gave up on the pass quickly. He quit looking downfield as soon as he felt the pressure. Here we go. You didn't see it, but he gave up the minute he finished. You know, as a quarterback, you can feel that pressure coming. And if you're young and you're inexperienced, that's a tough thing to get to handle.
If I'm a D coordinator, this is what I'm doing to him, though, too.
Absolutely.
I'm putting guys in his face all game.
Oh, absolutely. But I wonder, Eric, as we've talked about, they didn't do it early, and I wonder if they almost was part of their plan to give him a little bit of maybe false comfort back there and then change it up. We may see that. You know, come sometimes, not come sometimes. We used to play, you know, back in the early days of BYU, they used to beat everybody with a passing game, and it was because if you stood back and let them throw, they beat you. If you rushed them, they beat you. And what they figured out after years is we had to figure out how to change it up to always keep them off guard a little bit. That's too bad. They needed to have a good series there.
Well, their first 2 series, they turned it over. An interception return for a touchdown on the first play of the game by Olympus. Just a great individual play by the defensive end. And got up and grabbed a screen pass and took it in. Then they intercepted Logan again, had a short field. And then Logan, the last 2 times they've had the ball, they've moved the ball. But then on 3rd down, they brought pressure as Olympus, and Wildman's not getting the time to do anything. They're not picking up the blitz. And with an inexperienced quarterback, he's got to have just that little extra second.
Yeah, I agree. It's a good punt. Yeah.
Lowry with a good kick.
Oh, they missed it. They touched
that one
it.
may have touched one of the Titans. And it goes into the end zone, and they're going to say, no, it didn't touch one of the Titans. Boy, that was close, and I don't know if we have a look at that. But we'd like to if we do. But coming up on it hard was JoJo Henderson, and then he backed off, but he never acted like he touched it.
That was a great punt.
Watch right here.
I don't think so. It was close. Hard to tell. It was a great punt. Okay, so we've been talking about the offense and their challenges, but other than the 2 short field plays, the defense has held up pretty well.
Yeah.
And they've kept Logan in this game so far.
70-yard kick flips the field for the Grizzlies. Let's see if the defense can make something happen. Here's Meyer. He's got lead blockers, and he's got a first down plus. He averages 9.3 a carry. He's got 13 there.
We're seeing a lot of arm tackles right now for Logan. Logan's got to get down low to the ground. They've got to get back to some technique, and they're going to have a hard time with a good running back like Meyer. Watch this. There's 1, 2, missed again, even when they brought him down. It's all arm tackles.
Well, in that time, Olympus is just getting numbers. They had more hats to the ball that time. Now they'll go back up underneath with Siegel.
Tackle again.
Siegel picks up 6, 7.
Logan seems to be hitting very, very high. They're not getting down around his waist and his knees. It's bringing him tough to bring down.
Bracken Williams makes the stop.
Bracken Williams on the tackle, and Williams with 112 tackles coming into today's game. Second and 2. And another flag. And
whistle stops play.
Guys in motion again for Olympus, and they're going to call offsides on Logan.
Offsides is called against the Grizzlies. That'll be a first down.
So for Logan, their second penalty of the night, and that's going to be a first down for Olympus.
That's too bad.
Out at the 46.
First and 10 at the Olympus 46-yard line.
Olympus with a 13-yard run, an 8-yard run, and now a 5-yard penalty. And here they are at the 46. There goes Meyer. Manning's going to throw as Meyer stays in to protect. Manning really walked right at the sideline.
What are they going to call?
Well, I sure hope it's not like a personal foul or anything.
Boy, if it is, it came out really early.
He already was pulling his flag before the guy was going down.
Now, they may have called a face mask.
Or a hold or something. They cannot call the personal
foul. Face mask
on Logan.
All right,
now, see that.
Yeah, it was early. If you can see this, I mean, he starts to throw the flag.
First and 10.
And he gets spun around.
Right in there is what
he saw.
Yep, and that's what he saw.
Yep. Yeah. Well, Logan can't do this. They've had a hard enough time keeping Olympus from advancing the ball. They can't give up penalties like that.
So 2 penalties, 20 yards worth on this drive. The Logan defense, the Olympus defense has made things happen for their team. Now the Logan defense has to try to do the same for their offense. Nice hole up front for Meyer. No, that's not Meyer. That's Draper. Draper caught inside the 5.
And Draper.
You're gonna watch something like this. Watch this run. They get the ball. When he hands that ball off to him, he's got his shoulders facing the sidelines, but he quickly turns around. He's facing. Now watch. He takes a step, and boom! Look at his shoulders, and that gives him the ability to cut either direction. I'm really impressed. All of their running backs have done that.
Well, what they do is they just block that like a gate and swing that open with the guard coming, and they just open a big hole, and they've done a great job.
But Eric, it's technique. I learned a lot from one of your old coaches, Jack Robinson, used to teach about how important your footwork was to get your shoulders square.
Around to Draper again, and Draper back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Looked like the same type of play.
I think sometimes people forget, kids, especially high school kids, forget how important their technique is. I heard one of the Aggies talking this week about preparation for UNLV, and was talking about, it was an offensive lineman, talking about how important his footwork was and getting his shoulders square and his body mass. Olympus is doing that right now.
2nd and goal, just inside the 5. They're going to pitch it to Meyer. Meyer's got lead blockers and a big hole. Touchdown, Olympus. He didn't even get touched until he was 5 yards down the field.
Again, I like the way they run that offense. He gets his shoulders squared back in the backfield, and that allows him to go right or left. He's not 1, 2, 3. Now he's square, and he can go any direction he wants. That's pretty impressive. It's well done. I was trying to be optimistic, but I think Logan is officially in trouble right now. They've got to figure something out quickly.
Well, they haven't shown that offensively they're going to be able to do much of anything tonight. Now they're down 3 scores. 7:57 to play in the half. 20-0. Olympus extends their lead. Well, here's the scoring play, and actually this is the big run that set up the scoring play for Olympus as Draper goes 35 yards.
And see how he gets his shoulders square? I think it's a pretty impressive running game. He's a big kid.
6'1", 172.
Yeah.
Anderson kickoff for the Titans.
And for Logan, there's absolutely no air in that crimson and gold balloon.
No.
They need to make a play to get a little bit of juice back in them. Rector.
Hartman Rector returns the ball out to about the
25, 26-yard line. Best starting field position of the day for Logan.
1st and 10, Grizzlies.
Well, so now what do you your coach Favero, Coach Nelson, what do you say to your quarterback here? He's got to go in and keep his head up. He had such a great experience and a great night the other night against Bountiful. He's got to find that energy again and make something happen here.
They're going to give it off to McIntyre. McIntyre is going to pick up 3.
And now, I guess, as I listen to myself, that's a little bit unfair because it isn't just on Wildman. He's the quarterback. He's the guy that has to lead, but all these kids have got to step up now and play.
It was a full team effort to win last year.
Absolutely.
And it's going to take that tonight against a much better team.
Absolutely. But that's the burden as well as the advantage of being a quarterback. You have to take the good and the bad.
Olympus is an impressive team. Watterson drops it. And that one wasn't going anywhere
either.
No,
we had nobody out here to block. He was going to get put down hard.
Now it's 3rd and 7. Logan 1 of 3 on 3rd downs. Yeah, Rector, the sophomore, didn't get a block. So Watterson wouldn't have had anywhere to go. All sorts of time.
There you go.
There's Rector.
There you go.
Rector out near midfield.
Okay. Now let's build on that, Logan. Let's keep going. Now you're
10 Grizzlies.
21 yards.
That's a big time throw by Wildman. He stood back there and he threw that well. Look at that. He kept his feet. His feet aren't happy. He steps in and he throws right down the middle. He's wide open. Now you see what they choose to do.
Well, Olympus didn't send any heat that time. And Wildman had time to look downfield. He's got time now. He runs out of it.
Okay. All right.
Olympus is showing good speed because Wildman's a fast player. He's not running away from anybody.
No, but there again, little things. Wildman there held on the ball, didn't fumble, made a good choice and got the ball in.
Loss of 1. That's the 3rd sack for Olympus.
They're bringing 4. Coach Favero's trying to make the change again. He's using that clock.
5 seconds on the play clock. They get it off with plenty of time to spare. Downfield goes Wildman. This one's going to fall a little short.
Oh,
Artist nearly comes up with it.
Artist made a nice play there. That would have been a great play.
Artist incomplete. Third down.
But he threw it into 3 people. It was 3-man coverage there.
Artist had a little help going down as he turned around the corner, put both hands on his shoulders and kind of gave him a yank down. They didn't call it. Right before that, it was a heady play by that corner.
A little bit.
So now it's 3rd down and 11. They're bringing 4. Wildman in trouble, gets out of it for a moment, and now it's 4th down and 5.
I think we'll see Coach Favero. I think we may see Favero. No, I thought he might go for it here, but he's going to punt.
Well, you've watched your defense get steamrolled most of this half.
No, you're right.
They're trying to open things up, go downfield a little bit. Wildman's just running out of time. And
well, that was a breakdown on the offensive line. They only brought 4.
Lowry's kick.
Fair catch made.
Oh, that's a penalty.
Yeah, that is a penalty.
That's a penalty. Absolutely, that's a penalty. Good call.
Howler caught it at the 10. He called for a fair catch, and then he took off with it.
And he ran forward. Yeah, he did.
Yeah. And so that's a penalty, and that'll back up Olympus.
That's a delay of game call against the Titans. That'll back it up 5 yards.
Well, if there's one thing Olympus hasn't done well this half, that's their 4th penalty. Everything else they've done almost to perfection.
Well, this is certainly the worst field position that Olympus has started with.
Again, though, the defense is not missing their leader for Logan. They need to step up and make a play.
You're right.
They need to help out that offense a little bit. But it's tough against this Olympus team that plays very disciplined, big and strong up front. Here's the give.
Now see, that time he didn't get his shoulder square. He had nowhere to go but to the outside. He couldn't cut back, and that's been their big play.
The 5-yard line will be 2nd and 11.
It was Siegel.
Logan's penetration. You watch, he gets the ball. Now he's got the ball 1, 2. Now he's got people on him. He can't get square, and he's facing him. He can't get back. I really think that's the key. If Logan can get some penetration and stop him from squaring his shoulders,
it was big Keegan Oldham that got into the backfield and made the play. The junior, number 50, weighs 300 pounds. 4:40 to play in the half. Olympus with a 20-0 lead.
That was better.
And another short gain. Meyer about 3.
Okay.
About the 7-yard line. It'll be 3rd and.
And Olympus is 1 of 3 on 3rd downs. They're 1 for 1 on 4th down, and this one is 3rd down and 9. And they have shown that they can throw the ball and throw it well.
Yeah, this is a big down for the defense, obviously. But if they stop them here and make them punt, Logan's going to get the ball back at least one more time with good field position.
Receiver split wide.
There you go. That's
they just go back into the line with it, and a gain of a yard, and that's it.
Okay, so again, now build on this. Here we go.
4th and about 7 for the Titans.
Now you look at all the ball fakes and everything else. Defensively, you have to be disciplined. You have keys. You have guys that you key on. You have to play your key and trust that your other teammates are going to play theirs.
I'm not so sure that's been that's been the issue this afternoon. I haven't been impressed with Logan's tackling. A lot of arm tackles and
not a very good punt. And it takes an Olympus bounce and then dies at the 42.
Okay, so this is a chance now. Logan's got an opportunity for some momentum going into the half.
Grizzlies take over 1st and 10.
Logan with a great opportunity at the Olympus 42-yard line.
I watched a little bit during that two last plays of that series. Riley Nelson was just basically shadowing Kincaid and keeping an eye on him, talking to him, getting in his ear. And I'm sure what he was saying is, come on now, we can do this. Let's do this. Watch for this. He's got the athletic skill. He just needs to get a little success, get a little confidence.
We're going to throw it out to McIntyre on that screen.
Okay,
McIntyre puts his shoulder down and picks up 8.
I like that. I like that call. It's safe and give him a little more confidence again.
And it's a forward pass if he doesn't catch it. Wildman's going to keep.
Okay.
Wildman
off tackle, and he's got the first down.
Okay, good, simple first down.
Grizzly first down.
Picked up 4 yards.
And Wildman's in that positive yardage category again. He's taken a bunch of sacks. He was in the negative for a while. Now he's 9 rushes for a yard. Wildman looking downfield. Now he goes underneath.
Great catch.
McIntyre. Good catch. Good block. McIntyre down to the 20-yard line.
What a catch.
They mark him down at the 20-yard line.
You know, that might be one of the hardest catches in football that way. That ball's coming at you.
And that's a Grizzly first down.
And you got your shoulder pads on, and you'll get your arms up above your head.
McIntyre having a pretty good half. 5 catches, 32 yards. Wildman's 10 of 12 for 93 yards, but he's thrown those 2 interceptions. Here comes the heat. Wildman. He stood in, but he stood in too long. They brought 3 extra guys that time.
Well, and I think you said it earlier, Eric. The pressure is what's getting to Wildman, and I'm surprised that we aren't seeing more of that. My guess is we're going to see a bigger dose of that in the second half.
7-yard loss, second down.
Well, he's shown if he has time, he finds receivers and delivers a good ball. And so Olympus is saying, we just can't give you time. We're under 2 minutes to play in the first half. Logan looking to get on the board.
3-man
rush, and they're going to get him.
Oh, there
he gets away. And in the end zone, he's got men wide open.
Great.
Touchdown, Logan.
Okay. That's what you needed from Logan right there. That's exactly what you needed. Okay, now, at halftime, you got to go back, and I know you can't look at film, but watch this film. That's a complete breakdown on the outside. 55 missed his block. That's an athletic play by Wildman. 55's got his hands up, and now, again, he has the presence of mind to look downfield. And we haven't seen that from him. So I like that. He certainly could have run for the first down.
You think that tackle's going to get talked to at the half after that play?
I hope so, because, again, if they can get pressure with 3 people, this is going to continue to be a long afternoon. On the other hand, you know, Eric, we talk a lot about momentum, and that's a big momentum switch going into halftime.
20.
Now, they got to hold it.
20-7, Olympus lead dwindles. The break they were looking for. It's a good move by the defensive end to shed the tackle. Looks like he's just going to kill Wildman, and somehow Wildman gets away.
And then has the presence of mind to look downfield and throw the ball up there. Great job. A little pooch kick.
This one stays in bounds, and it's picked up right on the sideline.
Oh, no.
JoJo Henderson picks up the ball.
JoJo Henderson
I saw it.
Out to the 22.
Logan's got to tackle better, Eric. They've got to tackle better.
They're high. Yeah. They're high. That's stuff you've worked on all year long. There's no excuse for it.
I thought he'd let the ball go out of bounds, and then instead when he picked it up, I thought, well, that was a mistake that Logan will take advantage of it, but they lost it without some good tackles.
Well, if he would have let it go out of bounds, they would have had the ball up at the 35.
Yeah.
1:31 to play in the half. Logan defensively needs to keep Olympus off the board. And Siegel loses the football. Logan looks like they might have it. Let's see. There was a Titan down at the bottom along with a Grizzly.
Oh, this is a big.
And a second
Nope,
down.
they didn't get it.
Looked like Logan was right on top of it.
Well,
that Titan player dug it out of there. It looked like Blake Whiting for the Titans was the one that came up with it.
Well, let's see. Oh, he pulled it out. Look at that. Didn't look like maybe the Logan kid had the ball.
Yeah.
I'll tell you. We way overuse this, but can you feel the momentum? I mean, you can just feel it switch. That's the funnest part about football, in my mind, is momentum is such a big deal. And if Logan can make 2 more stops here, they may get 1 more crack at the end zone here.
The Valley Channel, of course, has been broadcasting Cache Valley Family since 1989. We're broadcast to homes throughout Cache County free over the air on channel 26.1 and on basic Comcast cable channel 17. Ad rates are low, our service and customer satisfaction rates are high. Our programming is all about the people, events, organizations, businesses, and activities that make Cache Valley our home right here on the Valley Channel. 1:09 to play in the first half, 20-7. Logan trailing Olympus. Here's a little reverse, and Meyer picks up a yard. Timeout, Logan.
Remember in the first quarter, we were talking about how Logan was really over pursuing and they were losing the ball on the backside. They haven't done that the last couple series, and they've been much more disciplined. They stayed at home, and it's really caused a problem, I think, for Olympus.
Here's a good look at Logan defending that play. One of our sponsors is the Logo Shop. Just like our name says, we logo stuff. Logo Shop can provide you with a vast assortment of quality product choices at prices that are competitive in all 50 states. We give you an effective and practical solution for promoting your business, club, or group. That's the Logo Shop.
3rd and 13 for the Titans.
Olympus 1 of 4 on 3rd downs, and this one's 3rd and 13. See if they take a chance and put the ball in the air. Oh, they're going to pitch it out to Meyer. Meyer hauled down after a gain of about 3. Olympus will have to kick. And Logan not stopping the clock. I think they're out of timeouts. They had to take that one earlier.
They're going to get a couple of cracks here.
There's about a 20-second difference in the play clock and the game clock.
So I think what you're going to see here is Olympus will just run it down and then call timeout.
They'll run it down to about 20 seconds, and then Logan will look for a good return. So what do you do? If you're down to 20 seconds, if you're Logan, do you just bring the house, try to block the kick? Do you set up? You got Artist, who's a speedster back there. Do you try to set up the return? And what do you do with the Grizzlies here defensively? Because if you don't get the kick, you rough the kid or whatever, then they get the yardage, but they've got 21 seconds.
Yeah, what's the risk though? I would. Well, I guess it depends on your bend. If it were me, I'd probably set up the return and give Artist a chance to run the ball back. But it looks like maybe Logan's going to go for broke here.
Well, they've got everybody but Artist up.
Yeah, Artist is on his own back there. Don't jump off sides.
Yeah.
Here they come. They jumped offside.
I think Olympus moved.
Did they?
Yeah, I think one of the Olympus linemen moved. They kind of jerked.
That'll help. Let's see.
They're still talking about it. And
Motion.
it is on Olympus.
Okay. Well, you know what? Now I think now we've seen him do it, but I think even more so now you try and get that block. And they were relatively close. Logan's going to come again.
Henderson gets it away. Artist.
Oh, Artist.
He catches it with a man right in his face, and Colin Burton hauls him down at about the 43-yard line. They didn't give him the forward progress clear up near the 40. They are going to mark him down where they spun him down to at the 43. Let's see here.
So if you throw this ball, you've got... Yeah, he turned around.
He turned around and ran.
If you throw this ball, you've got what? You know, a couple of plays. Does Logan have a timeout?
No.
Okay, so...
Not according to my figuring.
So Olympus is going to sit back, I would guess. They're going to play guys back, you know, way back.
The difference in this ball game right now is 2 early turnovers by the Grizzlies. Olympus has not turned it over. Here comes the extra heat. Wildman steps up, and he one-hops it.
That's too bad. He had him open. If he'd have completed that, he's one throw into the end zone. So
Reyes has enough leg that Logan needs to probably get about 10 more yards.
Well, that's to say, if he had completed that pass, we'd have seen something maybe a little different. Now, without timeout, you've almost got to throw to the sideline, or else you've got to throw into the end zone.
You don't have time to set up again and kill it if you throw it deep middle. Wildman in trouble. Gets away again. Wildman's going to throw it for the end zone. Compton drops it. He was separated by the safety from that football, and that's the end of the first half. 20-7. Olympus leading Logan.
The optical industry is changing an awful lot right at the moment. A lot of new advances in lenses and styles of frames. Right at the moment, the most popular thing are big, black, chunky looking frames. For both guys and gals, we help someone look better not only from this side, but from the outside in.
Olympus leads Logan. Halftime of the quarterfinal game on the Game of the Week. And it's brought to you by Icon Health and Fitness, changing lives with fitness innovation. Cache Valley Hospital, your choice in healthcare. Salt Lake Express, door-to-door service to and from the Salt Lake Airport every hour. Lewiston State Bank, strong and vibrant for over a century. Immaculate Homes, now you're home. Wendy's of Cache Valley. It's way better than fast food. It's Wendy's. Discount Tire and Automotive, so much more than a tire store. Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology, bring back what you've been missing. Four Seasons, premier apartment homes, live, work, play, and celebrate. PR Graphics for all your promotional graphics needs. Alpine Cleaning and Restoration Specialists, we respond, we restore, you relax. The Logo Shop, we logo stuff, all kinds of stuff. And the Valley Channel, Cache Valley's television station. 20-7, our score here at Logan. Olympus leading the Grizzlies at the half. So
Introducing the new Proform TDF Centennial. The only training bike that inclines and declines, rides anywhere in the world, and measures your energy output. With Google Street View and a 7-inch touchscreen, draw your map and ride every tour stage or anywhere in the world. The TDF responds to terrain changes with a full 20% incline, 20% decline. An integrated advanced power meter measures your exact watts. And silent magnetic resistance means the training bike making all the noise in the cycling world sounds like this. this on any other bike. Call or go online today to get the Proform TDF Centennial with 0 down plus free upgrade to rush shipping.
Coach Flores, it seemed like you got a little momentum going at halftime with these guys. Can you tell us what you talked about and what your plans are for the second half?
Well, really what it boils down to is we've got to play the best second half, the best half we've ever played in all of this year, all of any year that any of these kids have played. We've got to give it all at this moment. There is no other moment. We don't even care what happens tomorrow. It's all got to be today. And that's really all we said. We made some adjustments. We said some things that we thought would work well. But really it comes down to they've got to give it everything they have and be the best that they've ever been if we're going to have a chance to win this game.
Good luck. We appreciate it.
Well, Logan had some momentum going into halftime. They scored. They stopped Olympus. They got the ball back again and looked like they were going to score another touchdown on the last play of the half, and a good play by Olympus's safety. He separated Taylor Compton from the ball, or it very well could be 20-14 right now instead of 20-7. In fact, let's take a look here. Now, this is that last play of the half. Wildman showing his escapability. You know, he was across the line of scrimmage, so even if he catches that, that wouldn't have been a touchdown. Haller with the hit that saved the touchdown. Wildman was a yard past the line of scrimmage when he let that one go, so they didn't throw a flag. If Logan would have scored there, that would have been getting away with one. So maybe it was justice, poetic or otherwise, and Olympus still leads 20-7, and they get the ball to start the second half. The Titans with 100 yards on the ground, 57 through the air. They put the ball in the air a lot early. Once they got the lead, they've started to really grind it out a little bit. Meyer, 9 carries, 37 yards and a touchdown. Draper, 3 for 42 and a touchdown, including a 35-yarder on his first touch. Siegel, 5 for 11. Manning, 2 for 10. Manning was 4 of 6 through the air for 57 yards. Meyer caught 2 of those for 23 yards. Ellis, 1 for 8. And Falatoy, 1 for 22. Falatoy had that interception on the first play of the game that he ran back for a touchdown as Logan came out trying to throw a little screen pass. Falatoy, 6'5", got way up the ladder and picked that one out of the sky and ran it in. For Logan, only 8 yards rushing. Not a big deal. The Grizzlies don't usually have a ton of rushing yards. When they do, it's their quarterback, Chase Nelson, who of course isn't playing today. 13 yards on 3 carries for McIntyre. And Wildman, 10 carries for -5. In high school, you put sack yardage on the rushing, and he was sacked 4 times. 119 yards passing for Wildman as he was 11 of 14, but he did throw 2 interceptions and 1 return for a touchdown. He did throw for 119 yards and a touchdown. McIntyre, 5 for 32. Compton, 3 for 34. Artis, 26-yard touchdown, and 2 for 27 for Rector. And we're underway here to start the second half, and a short kick. And Olympus out at the 38-yard line will start with the 13-point lead. And again, we talked about in that first half how this will have to be a team effort for the Grizzlies. Now you're missing your quarterback, and by missing that quarterback, you're missing 50 touchdowns, along with about 4,300 total yards. But you've got everybody else back. And so defensively, the Grizzlies are starting to make some noise toward the end of the half there, as Meyer gets around the corner and picks up 5. That's Draper.
Picks up about 5 on the play around the left end.
John Worley joins us back up in the booth. I couldn't hear what Coach Flores said. What's the overall mindset on the Grizzlies sideline?
Well, I think they said just what we thought they would, which was, guys, we've got one half to keep our season going, and now's the time to, break it out. And there's no tomorrow. You have to play right now. You have to give everything you have.
There's Draper again. Draper puts his head down, and he's got first down yardage.
I didn't have a chance to talk too much to him, but I really did want to ask him about about their defensive tackling. I think that continues to be the challenge. Schematically, they're stopping the ball. They're getting players in the right place. They just have to stop them from getting those extra 2 or 3 yards.
You look at Olympus, and they look like athletes. Sometimes we see big high school teams that look like guys that have eaten plenty of peanut butter sandwiches. They're big and athletic.
I agree.
And you can't go high on these guys. Siegel just puts his head right in his guard and centers back and pushes forward for 4.
Logan's seen good running backs now the last 3 games. The Box Elder running backs were good. Certainly the Bountiful backs were strong. These young men are all strong, and if Logan can get past these folks, I would expect that we'd see them playing East next week, and they've got a couple great running backs.
I've been super impressed with Olympus, but the difference right now is those first early turnovers.
Yeah, I agree. And Logan shouldn't feel out of this thing.
Here's the give to Meyer. He turns the corner, and he's going to be short of the first down.
Logan's got to continue to get the penetration. In the last couple of series of the first half, we saw them get that penetration again. I mean to keep harping, but keeping that running back from getting his shoulder square, because it makes all the difference in the world.
Olympus 1 of 5 on 3rd downs. For all that they've done right, they've had trouble with that. In the backfield, down goes Meyer, and it's Wildman making the play defensively. And it's a loss of 6.
Loss of 6 on the play will be 4th down and 9.
Penetration. You know, with the penetration, Wildman had that red. Not only didn't get his shoulder square, he hardly got the ball. I mean, 1 step, 1, 2, boom, there's Wildman. Amongst 2 guys. That's a great play.
I'm wondering if they were going to try a little reverse with Haller.
It looked like it, yeah.
Henderson in to kick for
4th down and 8. JoJo Henderson, your punter. Interesting punt formation. See if they kick it. Henderson does.
No,
and they run into him. They said he got a piece of the ball, and so no flag.
Well, and I think that the downside to that rugby punt is once you see him start to move, he becomes a runner. I don't know that you get a roughing the kicker.
And it's Jaden Connor that's getting up slow for Logan. So the Grizzlies defense, they've started to kind of figure things out,
and
it looks like.
That's what they needed to do.
Now they need to come up with a turnover
Well,
and get the short field.
You remember last week we talked at halftime and said, you know, this is where Favero's got to go in and give them a speech about coming out and playing hard. Same speech this week. Come on, guys, we're down 2 touchdowns and we win with 2 touchdowns. We're down because of the missed extra point. We're only down 13 here.
We looked at that last play of the half where Compton got separated from the ball. Wildman was about 2 yards past the line of scrimmage.
I thought so too, yeah.
So it ended up how it was supposed to, right? Wildman unloads, looking for Artist. Artist can't get there as Haller cuts him off, and they're going to throw the flag. Haller ran in front of him and just slowed down. Now we'll see if they call it offensive or defensive.
I almost have to wonder. I think they'll call it defensive, but I'm not sure. The Olympus defensive player had position. Let's watch and see. I'm not sure.
Well, you can't just set a basketball screen on him, though.
Well, I guess that's true. If he makes a play to the ball, but he certainly has every right to position on the field. I thought they had it played pretty well.
I think what he was calling is, I think why they called that is Haller kind of cut him off.
He held his arms
out.
Didn't go for the ball.
Like he was getting positioned for a rebound, and I think that's what drew the flag.
Yep.
Because he cut him off perfectly. It's just by slowing down and holding his arms out. So that's 15 yards and a 1st down. They throw it out to Compton. Compton, blockers. Compton back across the grain. And he's got more blockers.
Okay. I like the energy, Eric, and I like what I see from Logan. They basically coming out and saying we're going to play.
16 yards.
And I've said this a lot of times in the last couple of weeks watching Logan. Get the ball to your athletes and make a play. Kincaid made a great block on the backside that time too.
They're going to run it again to Compton. Compton down near the 1st down marker. It looks like he's going to be just shy.
Compton's one of those kids too that's just a little fire plug. He's going to get a lot of energy and he's going to get everybody fired up. And there was a little play action pass there too, and we talked about that in the first half. That play action holds that linebacker just long enough to get the block out in the front.
And it is a Grizzly 1st down.
And they do say it was 10 yards and a 1st down, so the ball at midfield.
They've got 25 seconds to run that. Watch that clock. They're going to see what they like. Now they're going to look over to Favero. Now they're going to change the play based on what they see. They're also, Olympus is also tipping where they're coming from.
Wildman picks up 2 before he's thrown backwards.
Maybe only 1.
It's always interesting to watch the chess match.
Yeah, and it is that. It's of all the games and sports we play, it's one of the reasons football is such a great game. You line up across from each other, you knock each other over, and then you roll over, you start over again, and it is a chess match.
Again, that 30 front for Olympus, and they're bringing 2 linebackers. Wildman across the middle has his man. Is that Compton again? That's Rector. About 4 yards, and it'll be 3rd down.
For the Grizzlies.
Rector 3 catches, 31 yards.
So this is a big play. 3rd and 5. Offense has already done their job. Even if they don't convert here, they can keep the field position in their to their advantage. But
2 for 5 on 3rd downs for the Grizzlies, and it's 3rd and 5. 7:35 to play in the 3rd. They're going to swing it out to Rector. Rector's got blockers. Rector's got a 1st down. He's down to the 35. It's a 10-yard gain.
I like, again, that call. Just that little play action right at the start, which holds that linebacker just long enough to get that block out in front. Here you go. Little play action. Everybody holds. By now they're in trouble. And good throw.
I've got a question for you. When does that become offensive pass interference? When they're blocking, when that ball's in the air? They never call it on any level. Technically, that's how it works.
Well, on
teams, if you're blocking while the ball's in the air, isn't that offensive pass interference?
Boy, it's a great question. I don't. My understanding has always been as long as the ball's, in both those cases. Oh,
there goes Wildman. He's got a 1st down to the 21 as he picks up 13. Sorry, go ahead.
In both those cases, the ball's still being thrown behind the line of scrimmage.
Maybe that's it. Look at Wildman finding the opening. They've moved that safety out of the middle of the field again with Rector kind of playing in the slot. Now Howler's moving back to the middle of the field.
They continue to use this play clock to their advantage to see what they're doing.
Safety swaps to the other side. Compton points at him. Olympus was offsides. No flag, and Olympus was offsides.
Well, and there's something that comes with experience. Wildman's got to get rid of that ball.
Yeah.
He knows right now. He sees this guy come through, and again, the linemen are not picking up their blitzes. This kid comes through untouched, and he's got to get rid of it right now.
Well, he's in there so quick because he's offsides.
Yeah.
Now it's 2nd down and 20.
Oh, look at this defense. 1 down lineman, rushing 3.
They're looking for Artis. They're holding him downfield, and they call it.
Yeah, 2 holds. A hold up front and then a hold down deep.
And I think that's another thing that Logan's adjusting to. Logan's adjusting to that. They've manhandled those receivers.
So you're not going to see either one, but
and they're starting to adjust to that, are the receivers, and they're starting to kind of fight back a little on that. In the first half, they were getting manhandled and not really fighting back, and they're doing a better job of that on this drive.
Suddenly, Logan is on the offensive. Logan is making the defense react instead of waiting to react to what the defense is doing, and I like that. I like the feel of this. And again, it's Favero and the offense using that play clock to their advantage. They're giving themselves enough time to really see what's happening out there.
10-yard penalty on the offensive hold. It's not pass interference, or defensive hold, so it's 2nd and 11. All at the 23-yard line of Olympus. Here comes the heat again. Wildman gets away again. You're going to call offensive holding, I think.
Oh, no.
Picked off out there by Spencer Williams.
I think they might call a face mask.
They threw it into the line where you'd think offensive holding. One of the offensive linemen is pulling on his face mask.
I think they're going to call a face mask. A face mask on the defense as Wildman came through the line. Right
there, yep.
Got it, yep.
Good look by our cameraman. Somebody grabbed Wildman by the face mask.
That's a big play.
That negates the interception by Williams.
You have to be good and you have to be a little bit lucky, and that's a break that Logan's got to take advantage of now.
That's a pretty good eye by that back judge. He threw it all from back there.
Face mask. Still second down.
So they're going to say it's the 5-yard face mask.
18-yard line.
But for Olympus, the penalties keep mounting up. 8
for the
penalties
Grizzlies.
for Olympus. 2 on this drive. 2nd and 6. This is their 3rd crack at 2nd down for the Grizz.
2 guys coming from the outside here, and I think they saw it. Both those outside backers were planning on coming, number 3
and 40 and 33.
33, and here they both come.
They're all coming, all the backers.
Yep, and he read it. Great.
Compton down near the 10, and it's going to be near 1st down. Let's see what the call is.
Yard line.
And Coach Favero says, hurry up.
Yep. Well, they've got the momentum. They've got it all going. Olympus is back on their heels, and they need to take advantage of this.
Compton 6 catches, 64 yards. Now the Grizzlies need to finish this drive. They're at the 12-yard line of Olympus, trailing 20-7. Their first possession of the second half, 5:20 to play in the 3rd period.
If they're going to press on the outside over here, if Compton can get free.
And they're playing so far off the 3 wide receiver side. Wildman looking for a hole. He's inside the 10. He got down to about the 8. That's about where they spot him.
They'll mark him at the 9-yard
4
line.
yards.
Second down.
Now they're going to put it back at the 9, so 3 yards.
Where'd this drive start?
Good question.
I'm sorry, I should remember that for you.
Down, yep.
But this has been an impressive
Well,
drive.
it was down inside their 20.
Yeah.
Because they started off with a pass interference penalty.
Yeah.
Wildman with the screen underneath, and he can't find Artist.
Yeah, and he got a little. Again, he got a little bit of pressure. I think you called this earlier, Eric, in the game. His offensive line's not giving him as much protection as he'd like. Now that was a screen, but he didn't quite get enough time to get set and get that ball off.
Now it's 3rd down. Logan 2 of 6 on 3rd down. It's 3rd and 7. Now they're backing off a Rector. They're going to go that way.
No, see, good job. They baited Wildman right into that. They pulled it high. Wildman thought he saw something up tight, which was a good read and a good throw had they stayed up tight, but he backed off right at the last second. And Kincaid needed to have seen that. That was lucky.
Yeah, JoJo Henderson at the last minute backed out of there and went from man press to zone deep. The second man in at the top of your screen had sat down at about the 4-yard line, and he was wide open, but they had already committed to this side. And somebody out there, is that
JoJo?
Henderson?
I think it is.
He's their punter, and he's done a good job as a defensive back. And it looks like a cramp the way they're stretching that leg out. So now if you're kicking a field goal, you're about a 26, 27 yarder. And do you put the points on the board? Now you're down 10, or do you go for it? Because you'd have to get inside the 3 for a 1st down.
And because of that missed extra point, 2 field goals puts you in, ties the game up. I think you think about kicking the ball here. On the other hand, your defense has played pretty well in the last couple of series, and you've got them down here quite deep anyway.
I think you need points. I think you take them, but
I agree with that.
But they're bringing Reyes back to the sideline. Now I don't know if that's because they're still working on the injured player. We will see. PR Graphics, one of our sponsors. We create banners, signs, vehicle graphics, vehicle wraps, graphics for your 4-wheeler or showmobile. We do any size, color, or design of graphics. We can customize or recreate to meet anyone's needs at PR Graphics. Don't forget about PCs Unlimited. If you're having issues with your computer, take it to PCs Unlimited for a free diagnostic. They can find your problem. If you're nervous to take it to somewhere to clean up your system because you're afraid it will take forever, boy, do I have a place for you. PCs Unlimited can do a system cleanup for you and have your computer back either the same day or next day. That's a quick turnaround. New system, used system, PCs Unlimited will take care of them all.
I think he's going to go for it, Eric.
Wow. He's got Wildman on the field. And JoJo Henderson's back on his feet. You know, one thing I forgot to mention when you were talking to Coach Flores out there, you know, we heard right from the coach, and we do every game. And speaking of hearing, Dr. Paul Daines can design a hearing solution that not only gives you better hearing, but better hearing that sounds like you want it to. At Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology. Fourth and 7 for Logan.
This is a gutsy call right here.
Myers your corner now on this side. Deep slants wide open.
I think they might throw right to Compton here.
The skinny post is right there for him.
Now, good
That's
job.
What they go
Got
to.
it.
Touchdown, Logan. On that
we should be coaches, Eric. Wow, good job. Great read by whether they called it off or whether Wildman saw it. Either one, they got exactly what they wanted, was man to man. And interestingly enough, that little the receiver out there, or the defensive end, the cornerback, was the same size as Compton, and that doesn't happen very often. Compton wasn't at a disadvantage.
So hard to defend that because that receiver can get his shoulder inside you if you're playing off. Reyes kick. It's good. We got a ball game at Crimson Field, 20-14, with 4:23 to play in the third quarter. Logan closing the gap. .172 yards passing for Wildman, and here's his second touchdown.
You know, he didn't hesitate a bit. I think, again, you saw Favero on the sideline. They saw what they had, they read it, and somehow got the message to him. Either that or he saw it early, but either way, it worked out perfectly.
Reyes set to kick off. And just a little squib. It goes out of bounds, so that'll go to the 35-yard line. And the Logan defense, who has played much better than early on, A, they haven't had short fields to defend, and B, they've started to kind of figure this offense out a little bit. Again, you'd like to see we're still seeing some missed tackles by that D, but you know what? Some of that is they're playing a pretty dang good opponent.
Well, they are, but you shouldn't. You ought to be able to tackle, and especially on a good running back like this who gets his shoulder square. We talked about it. They've got to get to his legs.
Siegel and Draper in the backfield. Meyer on the wing. They're going to give it to Siegel. Siegel cuts back, and he's got 9 yards. And it makes such a difference for Olympus when you've got second and short every time. It makes a difference for every team.
Yep. Now, that was a nice run. The blocking scheme was good. They got people out in front, and that was just well executed.
An important drive for Olympus. They need to stem some of the tide here from the Grizzlies. Here's the give to Siegel again. Siegel right at the marker, leans forward, picks up 2 and a first down.
Well, and with what Olympus needs to do right now is come back and just smack Logan right in the mouth again.
You kind of get the feeling that they would like to just grind it down, take about 6 minutes off the clock, and score one more time.
Well, and that's a good way to take some momentum away.
And then get on the bus and get ready to play East or Corner Canyon next week. Right now it's East beating Corner Canyon. Manning's going to throw. He looks underneath to Meyer. Meyer makes a man miss. He's got the first down. No, they're going to say he stepped out of bounds at the 45.
We've talked a lot about Olympus's ability to throw the ball, but you know, as I think back, all of their throws have been to the outside edges. They aren't thrown across the middle very often. They're taking advantage on the outside.
Yeah, they're not taking many chances, are they? Siegel breaking tackles.
There's a better tackle, but it was 8 yards downfield.
Again on the carry.
9 yards for Siegel.
Down to the 36-yard line, first down.
He's 9 carries, 35 yards for Siegel. So the Logan defense, who's played so well the last few possessions, being challenged. As Olympus dialing it in. They're going to give it to Siegel again. Nothing fancy. They're just playing smash mouth football.
From up here, it's fun to watch the two difference in philosophies. Logan spreads the ball out. They've got guys across the whole width of the football field. And Olympus is trying to bench as many people as they can and play tight. Their splits are, between their offensive linemen are very, very small, if even non-existent. So here again, they're very, very tight.
Not quite 0 splits, but almost, huh?
They're pretty close.
Here goes Draper in motion. Give to Siegel. Siegel's not going to get the first down.
Good.
He picks up about 1.5 yards. It's going to be 3rd down and about 3.
He picks up a yard.
1 for 6 for Olympus. Their Achilles heel tonight has been 3rd down and penalties.
Yeah. Well, this is an achievable 3rd down for Olympus, though, because that little play action pass can be really dangerous here.
8 penalties for 45 yards, 60 yards, for Olympus. Logan looks like they might be bringing the house. You can blitz to stop the run. And they're going to throw it, and down goes Manning. Jaden Connor with the sack.
That was they just overpowered that offensive line. There was no chance for him.
36 yards.
Just overpowered him. He turned around and had no chance. Looks like they had a little confusion, too. The fullback got in the way. That was a pretty generous spot, I think, as well.
Yeah.
They're going to go for it? Nope, they're going to
there's Henderson.
Now, JoJo, was it not JoJo that got hurt the last time down?
It was. They were working on his leg almost like he had a cramp or something, but they worked on him for a long time over there on the sideline. It's 4th and 10 from the 36-yard line. Henderson gets it away. Logan gets away. This one's heading for the end zone, and it gets there.
And the ball rolls into
that was a break. Logan just got a break.
Grizzlies ball, 1st and 10.
And we talked about it earlier, and you said the same thing earlier. Isn't football a funny game? Because Logan looked to be dead in the water with about 5 minutes left in the first half. And now it's 20-14, 49 seconds to play in the third. Logan's got the ball, and
they're a score away from taking the lead.
Yeah,
and a lot of momentum.
Now they need to take care of the ball down here. Wildman's thrown 2 interceptions that have stood, 1 that was overturned by a penalty. Give to McIntyre. He turns into the line, and he's spun down. Boy, his head went yanking around as he got grabbed around the neck.
So much of what happens in a football game is dependent upon what goes on at halftime. You wonder what the approach is, what the speeches are, what the attitude is. But Logan, you're fighting for your life, and Olympus is potentially sitting in there going, "Hey, we're going to win this thing."
You got JoJo Henderson that's really favoring that leg. He'd like to get Artist matched up on him.
Yeah.
You got Compton on him right now.
Well, but this free safety back here, number 2, is cheating this side. It looks like they're almost trying to bait him.
Cheating hard. Underneath, and he throws another pick as Wild, but the backer was sitting right on top of that. So there's that 3rd interception. We talked about it. You can't turn it over. And the difference in this ball game is turnovers.
And that's a bad turnover. It's a momentum killer, too.
And that's the end of the 3rd period. Look underneath, and he was just waiting on that, was James Fox. And the Titans in scoring position, 20-14 at the end of 3.
Hey fans, the 3rd quarter Crystal break is sponsored by Domino's Pizza at 982 South Main. Find Griswold in the stand, show them your Grizzlies spirit, and you
Jury duty.
You're happy about that.
It's right next to that little pub with those amazing cheeseburgers.
Like these?
Did you guys have jury duty?
Wendy's.
The new pretzel bacon cheeseburger, specially crafted by Wendy's.
Oh, that's better.
Now Wildman in his first start against a tough Olympus defense. Look, they're just sitting back waiting for maybe a screen type play. He looks underneath the Rector. And you look at that play, you can't see it in the picture, and Wildman will see it later. Artist was wide open from the slot downfield, but you can only stand in there so long before you worry about the defense getting there. First and goal from the 5. Olympus can put a nail in a coffin. Manning's going to keep it. Manning thrown down by Benyon.
Benyon wraps him up.
They're going to give him.
Wow, that's a generous spot.
They're going to give him clear back to the original line of scrimmage. Let's take a look. We're a long way away, so let's take a look.
Yeah,
pretty close.
Yeah.
It was when he spun him around, made it look like he'd lost a bunch of yardage, but he did get back to the 5-yard line. It's just outside the 5. They're going to pitch it to Meyer. Meyer cuts it back into a bunch of Grizzlies. He picked up a yard.
It'll be 3rd down and 4.
3rd and goal. Now, if you're Olympus, don't you take 4 downs to try to put it in here? Your defense is playing well.
I think so.
One of the top defenses in 4A is Olympus. They're 4th in 4A defensively, only giving up 16 points a game. Logan's averaging 40 coming into this one, but playing without their quarterback, and they've only scored 14.
If you're Logan, you've got to watch play action passer. They've got 17 out here on the, we're in isolation out here on the far end. Play action, got it.
Keep it. Manning has a man open. It's a one-hopper as Austin in. Put the pressure on.
That's a great job. He didn't. We keep talking about this, but that's being disciplined. He didn't come in. He didn't bite the fake. Look, he's right there. He reads it. He knows it's coming. That's a great job. Great play, and he almost made a great throw. And they're going to kick.
Well, yeah, because now you make it a 2-score game.
Yeah. Yep.
You may not drive the nail all the way into the coffin, but you at least get it started if you kick this one. Kick is up. Kick is good.
Compton almost got his hands on it.
23-14. Olympus with some breathing room with 10:37 to play in the ball game.
Howdy you, old grist mill. Old Grist Mill Bread Company, Ogden, Brigham, Logan.
Anderson's kick goes to the 4.
Oh.
And that's Rector out to the 21.
Well covered by Olympus.
Rector running that like a sophomore. I'm just going to run ahead and hit somebody. By the time you're a senior, you've taken enough of those hits that, you're looking for an opening.
Or by the time you're a senior, you've got a sophomore to do it for you. You don't have to do it anymore.
You put a sophomore back there, Coach. Well, a whole different ball game here in the second half.
Well, it was just after we started talking about how different the game was for Logan.
There's a little pitch out to McIntyre, and they were bringing the heat. Cooper Draper. They came knifing into the backfield, and a 2-yard loss for McIntyre.
Logan's got to respond here. They've got to.
Yeah, they can't go into a funk like they did early in the game when they turned it over. You're down 9. There's 10 minutes to play. Two deep safeties now as they look to run the shovel pass, and Wildman keeps it. Wildman. Boy, Olympus has got some speed.
Yeah,
Wildman's not slow.
Yeah.
And they're coming up and they're catching it, and they're tackling very sound.
They are, and they're protecting the edge. They don't want to give the edge.
3 yards for Wildman, 3rd and 9.
I thought he might reach that one that time, but.
Yeah, looked like he might, but they came up hard and made the play. Compton in motion. Here comes everybody for Olympus. Wildman in trouble. He's going to be short of the first down by about 2 yards.
30-yard line. That'll bring up 4th and 2, I believe, for the Grizzlies.
And when I say everybody, that's who they were bringing. That's who they were bringing.
He's going to roll the dice right here.
Wow. On 4th down and 2, see if they try to get Olympus offsides. They've been offsides a couple of times and they haven't thrown the flag. Let's see if they can make them throw the flag this time, because it's been those close plays. Eight seconds on the play clock. And they're going to keep it. Wildman tripped up.
Didn't get it.
He's not going to get there. There's just too much speed on this Olympus defense for a block not to be made on the edge, or for spins and everything else. And it's going to be first down Olympus. Boy, they're spotting him way up there.
They gave him a pretty good spot.
They gave him a great spot.
They
gave him an outstanding spot.
I think he might get it.
I think he's a little short, but let's see.
Can't tell. It's hard to tell from here. But
he must have made a little surge right there at the end when he got behind the players, because it didn't look like he got close to where they spotted that.
First
down. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That must have been a late surge when he was behind the Logan players, but we couldn't see because it looked like he was getting taken down kind of sideways at the 30, and they spotted it clear up to the 31. So credit Wildman for that extra little surge at the end.
But it was all Wildman. He didn't have anything there.
Olympus running on players late. Wildman has his
that's
arm
a
hit
fumble.
by
They got the ball back.
and looks like Logan got back on it. He turned that corner,
But the Grizzlies
and he was looking for Compton deep. Falatoy turns that corner again. Boy, he's been a load for Goodmanson. Look at that. He's just out speeding him.
That was a fumble, and he had it. That was lucky. That was a break.
Lopez got on it. Wildman unloads and he misses Compton. So now it's going to be 3rd and 13. Now everything going all helter-skelter for the Logan offense. They were clicking, and now it's just kind of gone off the rails a little bit.
Well, and with
has Olympus changed anything up on their defense? They've been bringing a lot more heat because they were standing back a little bit.
They've been bringing a lot, and they've been bringing it from different places. They're usually rushing 4 guys. It's the 3 down linemen and then 1 or 2 linebackers. This
now
time just 3. And he gets him. Nice throw.
Open, it's Compton. Compton at midfield, and on 3rd and 13, it's a 22-yard gain.
You know, at the end of the day, win or lose, that's Kincaid Wildman's giving you everything you have there. That was a great play. That was he kept his eyes downfield. We've talked about that all day. He's done that sporadically throughout the day, but that was a great play.
Here comes a linebacker late. Lopez picks him up. Wildman in trouble. Gets out of it. He's looking downfield. All his receivers are just standing and watching him, and he gets spun out after a gain of 2 or 3. Here's the thing. All the receivers top and just were watching.
On that scramble.
Now either they're supposed to come back to the ball or turn and go downfield.
Yeah, they've got to work to help him.
I'd look downfield at this point, and they are all just were standing watching him.
That's a helpless feeling as a quarterback.
It's a 1-yard gain. And again, that's maybe them adjusting to their quarterback. Good job by the offensive line, giving him Wildman time that time. A little bit tighter formation. Wildman underneath, Scott Artist, and he's got a first down.
And catch made by Chad.
I'll tell you what, if you've had a season to work with Wildman and a chance to give him some reps, he could be a pretty good quarterback.
Yeah.
He looks good.
Well, he's at 205 passing right now.
Really?
Yeah, he's 20 of 25, 2 touchdowns. He has thrown 3 interceptions.
That's a nice ball. Tight, it's right on the money, right on the sideline.
He's playing against one of the top defenses in 4A. Here comes 2 extra guys. Wildman, no chance. They're just bringing one up the gut, and then they brought one off the edge. And there was absolutely no chance for Wildman. And his linemen are kind of pointing at each other. And who's got who?
Second down and 22 for the Grizzlies.
And Wildman loses 12.
Running for his life. And they're not linemen. You know,
they're timing it so well. They're coming across just as the ball snapped. You wonder if they, sometimes again when you're a newer quarterback, you're not changing up your signal or your play count or anything like that. Let's see if they send linebackers again. 3 looks like he's coming. He is. He's coming late. They slide over and get him. Wildman tucks it in.
Wildman tucks and runs.
He picks up most of the sack yardage back. He's got 10 of it back.
It'll be 3rd down and 12 for the Grizzlies.
5 sacks for Olympus, and they've all been big ones.
The defensive end, you've been saying his name.
Falatoy
has been really causing problems on that left side.
He's speed rushing Goodmanson, and Goodmanson's having trouble with it.
And that's, you hear about the weak side tackle. That's a difficult spot because Wildman can't see him coming.
Wildman throws this one up for grabs. It's Rector with the catch. It's great to be good. Sometimes it's better to be lucky. 41-yard touchdown.
Wow, what a great heads-up catch. Give it up for Compton, though, to start with, because Compton went up and kept that thing alive because it was kind of a duck. He threw it up in the air. He got hit. That ball's up for grabs. It's coming down flat. Compton goes up and, Compton just creates enough of a I'm not sure they couldn't have called. If the ball wouldn't have been tipped, they wouldn't have called a pass interference on Compton. Then he reaches. What a great play for a touchdown.
The PAT is good. It's a 2-point ball game.
Wow.
23-21, Olympus leads with 5:38 to play in the ball game. Let's take a look at this again. It's a 2-point game, 23-21. Wildman, 246 yards and 3 touchdowns. Puts that one up for grabs.
I thought Compton did it, but really he just went up. That's a great catch by Rector. Compton
just hit the safety. So they're going to onside kick this, and they call for fair catch, but Logan gets there first.
He's got to give him an opportunity to catch that ball, and he didn't. That's the penalty.
Logan didn't try to hit him. They tried to catch the ball first. If they call fair catch, do you have to get away and let him catch it?
I'm thinking that's
on
what
an
he's going to call.
Kick?
Because again, I'm not sure that the ball hit the ground. Normally you see that the ball hit the ground first. They kick it into the ground, so it's not a fair catch. That's a great heads-up play by the kid on the line.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what they're going to call. Logan. And I think that's the right call. We can watch the replay if we have it.
Even though they didn't hit the receiver, They went for the ball. But Logan went for the ball to catch the ball before it got to the receiver.
But again, most onside kicks that you see now, you watch them, but they kick it into the ground so that it's no longer a fair catchable ball. That's basically a pooch kick, and either a heads-up kid or a well-coached kid. Yeah, that's a big penalty.
We talked about that in the break.
Yeah.
Do you pooch this one and try to make something happen? You kick it away, and what's Rivero saying?
I like what he did, but you've got to if you're going to pooch kick it, you got to kick it downfield further than that.
Yeah.
Or you've got to kick the ball into the ground so that it pops up in the air, and then he can stand and fair catch all he wants, and they knock him over. They don't have to let him wait. They knock him over because the ball's now free.
Yeah, Logan's player was there. Nobody ever touched the receiving team, but they had already called for a fair catch.
Once he calls for the fair catch, he has to let him catch it.
So they got to make him kick it again? Going to make him kick it again because Logan came up with it, or what?
No, they're going to get. Oh, they're going to assess the penalty and then the kick because
now if Logan tries something short.
Well, that's interesting. That's.
Snack Shack has pizza and hot dogs for $1, everybody.
I'm not sure that I understand that. You know what? I guess that's what it is. It's an interference. Well, I don't know.
But Logan had come up with the football.
Yeah, but here again, they interfered with the catch. He called a fair catch. It shouldn't be. I don't know. I'm not sure what the ruling is there. That will be an interesting question. I don't know why that's not enforced after the fact.
Well, we can pay our research team to look
to
look at the rule book for that, because I don't have it here with me. So.
Well, that's a break. That's a big break for Logan.
Find me a research team, and we can do that. See if they just kick it away now. Reyes does. Good kick. Back at about the 12 to Henderson. Henderson dancing around, spun down. So actually, it works out better for the Grizzlies, I think.
Yeah, Logan comes up with a big break there. I'll be really interested to. I should know that, and I don't. I don't know why the ruling was the way it was.
Why they made him kick it again?
Yeah.
Unless it was because Logan had recovered the ball. Because
but here again, if he interfered with the catch, it's not a fumble. Unless they kick the ball into the ground. And at which point, if they kick the ball into the ground, then you can't interfere with the catch. I don't know.
Well, let's see if the Logan defense can come up big, because Olympus still leads, and there's only 5.5 on the clock.
And up the middle.
Siegel for a couple.
Plenty of time here to stop him, but you don't want him to get a first down. A couple of first downs, and this thing starts to get tight.
What if Compton had hung on to that pass at the end of the first half and they didn't call Wildman's being past the line of scrimmage? What if? Then we'd be looking at a Logan lead. But we're not, and he didn't, and we're not. And Olympus trying to put away the Grizzlies in what's turned into a whale of a ball game. Here's the give.
There you go.
To Draper.
That's exactly what they need to do. 6 carries, 53 yards for Draper. Draper came into this game 50 carries for 522 yards. Meyer's been their big back with 1,176 yards on 127 carries. He's carried it 12 times tonight, only 35 yards. He started out gangbusters, but then they've kind of put the wraps on him. And he's split out wide. Austin Inn is on him. 3rd down and 7. 1 of 7 on third down. This is throwing formation. Screen. They read it. Logan defense played well. Well played.
2 yards.
Well played.
Haller got it. Made a couple of moves, but there were too many Grizzlies there. Yeah, they came after the quarterback, recognized screen, and backed off. And it's Compton now back to return the kick.
Well,
and now it's 4th and 5. If you're Olympus, do you get cute and try something here?
I wouldn't with the field position the way it is, but who's going to blink? Who's going to blink?
Olympus is going to let the clock run down. We're under 3.5. And they snap it with 1 second.
Oh.
And there is a man that gets run over, and there's no flag.
I think once in that rugby style, once he takes 2 steps to the right, he becomes a runner. I'm not sure you can get a roughing the kicker at that point. I could be wrong. But
Connor went under Henderson's legs, and Henderson went down, and the ball goes out of bounds at the 38-yard line. That's where Logan takes over. They don't need a touchdown.
No, they don't.
A field goal gives them the lead. But they've got to get in field goal range first against an Olympus defense that has been one of the best in 4A all season, and they've been awfully stingy here tonight.
Okay, so now this is where you're going to find out what kind of experience we have a quarterback here. He's got to resist the temptation to make the big play. Take what you get, but don't get in trouble and throw an interception.
Wildman, backside pressure, gives
Great
it up.
throw.
Compton.
That's a great throw.
To Taylor Compton at the 47-yard line. First down, Grizzlies.
15 yards to Compton.
That's just a great throw. He's got his eyes downfield, takes his time, and puts it right on the money. Look at that. That's a great throw, right in stride.
Compton probably has my vote for the player of the game. 9 catches, 110 yards, and a touchdown. Clock stop with 3:13 to play. Plenty of time. Wildman's going to run. Flag comes late. Flag comes late, and Coach Vivero's hollering at Chris Reed, the side judge.
A motion or an offside. I don't know that it will be a hold.
It would have been about a 7-yard run.
A motion, yep.
Illegal procedures to call against the Grizzlies.
And flags came on both the side judge and the other on the other side threw it as well. For the Grizzlies, only their 4th penalty. So 1st and 15. I didn't see if anyone moved. Maybe somebody wasn't on the line like they were supposed to be.
That could have very well been it.
They're going to throw that little screen to McIntyre.
That was close. That was close to a legal procedure as well, because they didn't have the guy set on the outside before he started in motion.
Second down and 18.
Logan's done this throughout the game. That's not what got him back into the game.
No, I agree.
Going down the field did. 2nd and about 18. They don't need a touchdown. Field goal will give them the lead. 3-man rush. Underneath, nearly picked off. Threw right into double coverage, did Wildman, and it's going to be 3rd down and long.
That'd be 4th down.
Is that 4th down now? You're right.
Or no, they have a penalty,
it's 3rd
so
because
it'd be
of the
3rd.
penalty.
Yeah, he threw into coverage that time. You know, I think I feel like Wildman throws better as he's moving a little bit. We keep him moving on the run.
Well, and you can help protect him a little bit that way then. Give him a moving pocket.
Yeah.
And it's definitely 4-down territory for the Grizzlies, so you don't have to get all of the yardage on this play. See if they roll him to that strong side. They're bringing pressure. Downfield they go to Compton, and he can't get there. It was thrown just a little too much inside, and it's 4th and long.
It's 4th down.
Well, that was a pretty good throw. He had him. He had one-on-one coverage out there. He just threw it a little bit inside. Compton couldn't quite get there.
18 for the Grizzlies.
And they're going to play those corners so deep off of these receivers. 4th down and 18. Trailing by 2 are the Grizz. Wildman unloads to the middle of the field, and it's picked off by Haller. Back at the 15-yard line. Now Logan has their timeouts, but there's 2:09 to play.
That one was doomed from the start. They had two back there, 3 back there. He just stepped back and threw it. That was an all-go route. Everybody was running downfield. Let's just throw it up. And he put it out there a long ways, but look at that. 1, 2, 3 guys right there. Too bad.
Hoping for a little bit of magic like they got last time. They chucked it up.
Yeah. Well, you know what? There's 2 minutes left. What is timeout-wise? What does Logan have?
By my count, they've got all 3.
All right. Well, then there's plenty of time here.
But they may have taken one earlier. Again, my stats are unofficial.
Handoff.
Siegel.
They've got it. They've got to hold him to
Timeout.
There's one.
Grizzlies.
With 3 or 4 yards. Let's see where they spot it. 4 yards.
The pickup of 5 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down and 5 after this timeout.
Boy, somehow he squirted forward for that extra yardage. That looked like he was stopped after a gain of about 1.
You've talked about a chess match. Now here's where the chess match starts. Do you call timeout? Do you let that thing run down a little bit? You've got to hold him.
Well, 2:05, and it's a 23-21 ball game. The difference in this ball game has been turnovers. Logan with 3. Olympus has not turned the ball over. They've put it on the ground a couple of times, but they've recovered whenever they've put it on the ground.
Well, and I think that speaks to a couple of things, Eric. First of all, it speaks to the type of offense that you run. Logan's is a much more high-risk, high-reward offense. But also, Logan had to put it on the line a little bit. They had to try something different, missing a quarterback.
You can bet that Logan's going to be tearing at the ball. And
flag on the play.
The guard moved, and he knows it.
Illegal procedure against the Titans. Have to back it up 5 yards. 2nd down and 10.
So for Olympus, another penalty. That's 9. Logan with 5.
Well, that helps.
Clock stopped after the Logan timeout. 2nd and 10. They give it off to Meyer. Meyer turns the corner.
Couldn't get it.
Stopped at the 20. Picks up 2.
Picks up a couple of yards. It'll
See if Logan takes a timeout now.
They did.
For the Titans. Timeout on the field again, called by the Grizzlies.
So now it's 3rd and 8. You can bet Logan's going to be going after the football too. But you can't go after the football and not make the tackle.
Well, and here's the challenge for Olympus. What do? They have not been real successful at running the ball for 8 or 9 yards a pop. They certainly don't want to throw the ball. If they don't throw the ball, if they throw the ball and they don't get a completion, the clock is stopped. Even if they don't get a first down, when they run this, Favero's either got to call timeout or he's got to let the clock run down. So
I think you
I'd stay on the ground.
Yeah.
I'd stay on the ground.
Maybe you let your quarterback run it. Give something to one of those backs.
But they're in a passing formation here.
Manning's going to roll.
There's
a hold, and they didn't call it. Manning brings it down. He's going to be short of the first down. Boy, one of the Grizzlies was just absolutely tackled.
Yeah, I thought that was a hold as well.
And Manning picks up yardage.
Timeout on the field, called by
And that's what Coach Favero's hollering at the officials as he walks through and he takes his last time out. You can't see up there near the top of the screen. One of the linemen came through and he just got tackled.
Yep. Well, Olympus got what they wanted. They burned 3 timeouts.
Yep.
Logan got what they wanted. They're going to get the ball back.
If Olympus punts it.
Yeah,
I don't think you play that.
I can't imagine
game down
Olympus
here.
is going to go for it here. They've got to kick the ball away
with only a 2-yard lead or a 2-point lead.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, they don't get that ball. You basically give Logan the game with a field goal.
Yeah.
Olympus has got to punt the ball away here, and
there's a look. 1:52 to play, 23-21. Logan will get the ball back with no timeouts. Artist, again the speedster, is back deep. Compton sets up camp at about the 45, his own 45.
Fourth down and 3 for the Titans.
Logan looks like they're going to set up a return. But it's 4th and 3, and if you're the Grizzlies, you cannot be offsides.
Well, exactly.
This football game is over if you jump offsides. And Coach Favero's telling him, stay back. Henderson finally kicks it away. Oh, pick that up. They're going to let it bounce, and it's going to die at the 35.
And that ball rolls in at the 35-yard line of the Grizzlies.
Logan needs about 30 yards, 40 yards to be in reasonable field goal range, and they've got 141 to do it.
Well, here you go. I mean, this turned into a great high school football game.
It's been a while.
I think we were just talking about the fact that we didn't think we'd see Olympus throw the ball. I don't think you're going to see Logan run the ball at this point either. Wildman's still got a chance to pull this thing out for his team. But that offensive line's got to give him some more protection, especially that outside left tackle.
Wildman steps up, in trouble. He's not going to get away. Down he goes at the 30.
Now you got to hurry.
Second down and 15.
See, that's, again, Wildman's got to not take that sack.
Yeah, you just got to throw it out of bounds.
You cost yourself 15, 20 seconds here, if not more.
And that's worse than the yardage.
Yeah, no question. And they don't have time to run the clock down like they'd like to now and watch this defense. They're going to rush 3 and sit everybody back now. Not even going to try and disguise it.
Can't throw it now.
Can't throw it now. Got to get out of bounds. Oh, he should have got out of bounds.
We're under a minute. There's 53 seconds. And it's going to be third down, so I don't know that you can kill it.
Oh, you can't kill it. A couple of mistakes there.
There's too many guys on the field for Olympus. They had 12 guys on the field, and they wedge it. The clock's going to stop.
No, he got him. He got him.
It's a first down. Olympus had too many guys on the field. 2, 4, 6, 8. They've only got 10. They've got 11. They had about 13, 12 guys on the field. They didn't get off before the ball was snapped. So it's a first down regardless. But there's 34 seconds on the clock. You got to work the sidelines if you're going downfield now. Everybody, hang on. Because this is about to get crazy.
Nope, they're going to pick it up, it looks like.
They're going to pick up the flag. No, they're going to say
illegal substitution.
Illegal sub.
Will be declined by the Grizzlies. It's a first down.
Okay.
At
So
the 48-yard line for the Grizzlies.
And the clock stops until they set the chance.
Wildman's got to do a better job now this time around of clock management. He's got to throw the ball away. He can't take a sack. He's got to get out of bounds if he's scrambling.
Here comes an extra linebacker. Wildman steps up. In trouble again.
We got to hurry.
And he's short of the first down.
They got to hurry.
4-yard line. 17
The
seconds
receivers have to sprint back, not jog.
Kill it.
And he does. 10 seconds, so they got a shot. And again,
yeah, but
that's where it hurts having the inexperienced quarterback because you got to make a decision. And
he probably gave up 15 or 20 seconds on this series and not.
He can't help that. It's the situation he's in, and he'll learn that as he goes.
Agreed. I would have liked to see him get out of bounds here on the earlier play. The problem is now, as we've talked about all night, he can't throw the ball downfield in the middle of the field. They've almost got to play for a field goal at this point, and they've got to throw it to the outside. Now, I've liked those routes. They've got some routes that they throw, a little quick read route, a little quick out route to Compton.
Why are they starting the clock?
They shouldn't start the clock. It's got to spike.
He spiked it. Now the back judge is coming in and telling the head official. And Olympus is going to take time out.
Okay.
Olympus calls a timeout.
See, now I'm thinking about this from an Olympus perspective. I'd line up. I'd play 3 guys deep, and I'd play my corners across the outside, and I'd make sure that my people get as wide as they can. I want them to catch the ball inside.
Now, Wildman did a good job just keeping this alive, but it just took so long.
Yeah, he's running for his life.
Yeah,
but and he makes his play. It's a great play. And boy, he's about an ankle tackle away from picking up more.
And if he picks up the first down,
clock
the clock
stops. Yeah, you're right.
So that was a great job on the ankle tackle by Ninivagi.
I'd play 3 deep. I'd play corners on the outside wide, and I'd get my linebackers wide. I'd give them the middle of the field. Because if they complete a pass in the middle of the field and don't score a touchdown, this game is over. What I don't want is a completion on the inside line and let them get out of bounds.
Reyes has got a big leg. We've seen him kick against Northridge. I want to say it was close to a 50-yarder against Northridge. That was a long time ago. quite remember, but it was close to a 50-yarder then, but it would be way more than that now. Wildman. Got to get rid of it, and down he goes. That's going to be the ball game. A sack, and that's going to be it. And that really seems like it's fitting for the way this game has gone.
Yeah.
And that's the end of the ball game.
So Olympus, for the second week in a row, escapes. And here's a look.
Again, that outside left tackle has really struggled all night long, and I think at the end of the day, the two things that Logan's going to go back and look at is, number one, that they didn't tackle well overall, and number two, that offensive line really, Olympus was able to put pressure with 3 guys.
23-21, your final. Olympus with the win. Stuff down when I'm done. Well, 23-21, Olympus beats Logan. It was brought to you by Icon Health and Fitness, changing lives with fitness innovation. Cache Valley Hospital, your choice in healthcare. Salt Lake Express, door-to-door service to and from the Salt Lake Airport every hour. Lewiston State Bank, strong and vibrant for over a century. Immaculate Homes, now your home. Wendy's of Cache Valley. It's way better than fast food. It's Wendy's. Discount Tire and Automotive, so much more than a tire store. Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology, bring back what you've been missing. Four Seasons Premier Apartment Homes, live, work, play, and celebrate. PR Graphics, for all your promotional graphics needs. Alpine Cleaning Restoration Specialists, we respond, we restore, you relax. The Logo Shop, we logo stuff, all kinds of stuff. And the Valley Channel, Cache Valley's television station. For John Worley and the guys in the truck doing the hard work, I'm Eric Olson saying we'll see you next time on the Valley Channel.